I watched Tiamat, the queen of evil dragons, blast the Tarrasque with its 5 breath weapons. The monster just shrugged it off. Hey folks, Ron from Dungeon Noob here, and I decided to run the numbers. Who would win in a fight, Tiamat or a Tarrasque? Let's roll for knowledge. Now, technically a Tarrasque could never hurt Tiamat because she's immune to non-magical attacks and the Tarrasque isn't magical. But I still wanted to know who would win. So to really know, I had to do what D&D does best. Tell a story for this simulation. So here's the setup. Imagine this. Tiamat has arrived on the material plane. In a last-ditch effort, a powerful archmage performs a ritual. He awakens a Tarrasque and magically imbues its claws, its bite, its tail, and its new thunderous bellow, making them deadly enough to make a goddess bleed. This is the monster I pitted against Tiamat in 300 simulations. Everything else about the Tarrasque, the stat block, is the same. Just the magical enhancements. And even with that upgrade, Tiamat should have dominated, right? But the final results? Tiamat only won 54% of the time. The Tarrasque, this mindless monster, went nearly toe-to-toe with a deity. And the way it won almost changed everything that I thought I knew about what this creature, the Tarrasque, has become. So in the 2014 version of this fight, Tiamat would have dominated completely. The old Tarrasque was a walking punching bag. It was tough, but it was predictable. It would charge forward, it absorbed damage, and it hoped to get lucky. But here's the thing. In simulation after simulation, I watched something incredible happen. Tiamat would take to the skies, confident in her aerial superiority. Then the Tarrasque would do something the old version could never ever do. It would open its massive jaws and unleash its new ranged weapon, the thunderous bellow. And Tiamat, a goddess, would just get ripped right from the sky like she was nothing. Flight advantage? Gone. Tactical superiority? Irrelevant. In one roar, the Tarrasque had stripped away everything that made Tiamat untouchable. But that was just the beginning. Across 300 battle simulations, I started to see a pattern develop. The Tarrasque wasn't just surviving against Tiamat, it was adapting to her in ways that should have been impossible for the old version to do. The Tarrasque had stripped away everything that made Tiamat untouchable, while Tiamat prepared a breath attack sequence. She lined up her shots thinking the beast was trapped, right? Well, the Tarrasque then erupted from directly beneath her, catching the goddess completely off guard. Then, in another simulation, Tiamat tried to end the fight quickly with Meteor Swarm, 9 massive explosions of divine wrath. The Tarrasque shrugged off the damage and kept coming at her. But here's the part that really got to me after watching these simulations. The Tarrasque was winning faster than Tiamat. When the Tarrasque won, it averaged 6.2 rounds. When she won, 6.7 rounds. This mindless beast was more efficient at killing a goddess than she was at killing it. Now, before we continue, have you ever thought about which D&D class you'd be in real life? Well, if you have, I put together a quick, fast, fun 13-question quiz where you not only get what class you are in real life with D&D class, but also what that means. It maps to your own personality. It talks about the strengths, how you could make your life better based on that class and the strengths that you have as a person. So if you want to go ahead and take that, go to the link below, click it, and start the quiz. Now, let's continue. So what changed? Well, on paper, the updates look pretty minor. A new roar attack, some speed increases, burrowing ability, extra resistances. But in practice, these changes created something terrifying. The old Tarrasque was D&D's ultimate tank. Slow, reactive, predictable. The 2025 Tarrasque is D&D's ultimate apex predator now. Fast, proactive, and capable of challenging divine beings like Tiamat. And that thunderous bellow, let me tell you, it's not just an attack. It's battlefield control that can ground flying enemies and reshape entire encounters. And the burrowing speed isn't just movement, it's the ability to strike from almost impossible angles. And just imagine, if it can do this to Tiamat, a goddess with 5 breath weapons, flight, and divine magic, what can it do to anything else? So after 300 simulations, here's what I learned. The Tarrasque went from being a giant, almost impossible creature to kill to the perfect predator. Against Tiamat, the queen of dragons herself, it won 46% of the battles, almost half against a deity. Now make sure you subscribe because the next matchup is going to be a lich versus a demi-lich.